Hello, hello, what is up, guys? This is Chris coming at you from Those Gamers with the first Madden 17 video that we're going to be releasing. Definitely going to be many of those videos. Um, so, what this video is going to be is just kind of introducing the rosters, but we're going to just do it in the top five. And I guess the criteria is which are going to be probably the most used online, as well as what could be the most fun to use online. And I'm going to start us off with the Jags at number 5. I wanted to have kind of a surprise pick here. Um, I think there's a lot of good young talent on this team. So let's just go over them real quick. Blake Bortles, he's a very young and strong quarterback. I think 82 might be a little low for him, considering he threw like 35 touchdowns last year. But I think he should see a bump later on. Then you got two big running backs here, Chris Ivory and TJ Yeldon, both very serviceable. Let me check if one's more of a passing down back. 60, so they're not fantastic passing running backs, but they can definitely grind out the ball on the ground between the tackles. All right, so fullback, nothing to really be said here. Wide receivers, this is definitely the strength of the team. You got two big wide receivers here. You got Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns. 90 overall. 88 overall and 85 overall. Pretty decent speed. If spec catch is good this year, they're definitely a team you're going to want to play with. Julius Thomas, great tight end. You saw what he did with Denver, and he's still pretty good with Jags. Offensive line, I believe, is just pretty mediocre. Nothing really worth talking about. Then we got Jared Odricks. I guess more of a run stopper as a left end, not a speed guy. Dante Fowler is more the speed guy that's young, and he's going to finesse around those tackles. Malik Jackson, the pickup from Denver. He's going to be very, very good. They kind of nerfed his speed a little bit since I guess they moved him to D-tackle. But he's going to be a good player there. Telvin Smith. So this is a really good player. If you've noticed, he's got 88 speed. He's kind of undersized. He's got 223 pounds on him. So something you might want to do with him is possibly move him to middle and user him with all that speed. Unless you want to use Paul Posluszny, who's serviceable. He's got 80 speed, and I think he's got pretty good awareness and stuff. Dan Scuda, just a solid dude. Okay, here we go. Jalen Ramsey. This is their top pick in the draft. 82 overall is really good for a rookie. And that size and 93 speed, it's going to be really, really hard to get beat deep when you got this dude, especially if you're playing zone. Prince Amukamara, he's got great size, also great speed. And then Devon House, he should be very good in the slot. So that's another strength of the team, in my opinion. Full safety, put Gibson there instead. Jonathan Cyprian looks like he's got good size, good speed. Let's see if maybe got some hit stick. Nah, nothing too special. 79. And that's about it for the Jags, guys. Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, back at you. Number 4, Arizona Cardinals. This team has probably the best offense in the whole game. So if you're a very offensive-minded guy, you want the weapons, this is your team for sure. You got Carson Palmer, who can make just about any throw on the field, as you saw last year. David Johnson, I think he's really one of the best Madden running backs out there. He's got 224 pounds, 92 speed. I believe he can catch. Yeah, he's got pretty good route running, pretty good catching. And I don't know if I passed it already. I wanted to see his carrying just to make sure it was like at least above 90. 86. That's good enough. And you got Andre Ellington for passing situations as well, so it's pretty good. And Chris Johnson. But I probably wouldn't use Chris Johnson with David Johnson. They got the same speed nowadays, so if this was Madden 08 or something, then Chris Johnson would be your boy. Okay, let's see here. This is definitely the strength of the team here. You want to run 3 wide receiver sets all the time here. You got Larry, all reliable. John Brown, he's more of a slot guy in my opinion. I'd probably mix those up. put Michael Floyd, big receiver, on the outside in most sets. Excuse me. Tight end, Jermaine Grisham. He's pretty solid. He's got decent speed. I'm sure he's got decent catching and route running. Offensive line, this will be really good for running. Mike Upati. Let's see here. Evan Mathis, another good run blocker. I think they just picked him up from Denver, if I'm not mistaken. Calais Campbell, really good left end and a 3-4. Frosty Rucker, don't know much about him. Looks decently solid. You know, I'd like to have a bigger guy at a 3-4 D tackle, but some of you guys probably don't give a shit about that. Alex Okafor, yeah, not much to be said about him. Deion Buchanan, here's a really, really good user player. 89 speed. Use him in the middle of the field. Let me see what his tackling is. It is 82 tackling, 92 hit power. This is about as good as they come for a user player. So definitely use him in the middle of the field. All right, so they got Chandler Jones from the Patriots, and they moved him to right outside to fit their scheme. And I don't think it's really fair to drop him down to an 82. I don't remember exactly what he was at, but I think he was floating around 90, possibly right above 90, and Madden 16. But they dropped him all the way to an 82, which, in my opinion, is complete bullshit. But we'll see how that pans out during the season. And if it pans out well, then he will get right back to his usual place. Patrick Peterson, as good as they come for cornerbacks. I'm surprised that they dropped his weight from like 220 to 203. Still really fast, still tall. Great corner. They moved Tyron to safety. You can actually probably still put, yeah, so he's got 89 rating if you want to move him to a second corner slot. I don't know how you want to play, but that's an option. He's versatile. But his best rating will be 96, playing his usual position of free safety. Tyvon Branch, used this guy for quite a few Maddens, actually. He's got good speed. I think he's got very good man coverage as well. So if you like to run man blitzes or something, this is your kind of defense right here. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, number 3, we got Seahawks. I'm going to try to make this a little faster. This is actually becoming a longer video than I expected. But Russell Wilson, nothing to be said about him. Obviously, he's fantastic. One of the best quarterbacks in Madden. You can run around with him. You can make every throw. Thomas Rawls, he's going to be replacing Marshawn as Marshawn retired. 90 speed. Should be very good to play with. Wide receiver. Got lots of speed. Got 91 speed Doug Baldwin, 91 speed Jermaine Kearse, and 93 speed Tyler Lockett, who will be great in the slot. Very good wide receiver core right here. Jimmy Graham. Everybody knows about Jimmy Graham. He's only 89 because he performed like shit last year. But we all know that he's a top 3 tight end. So he'll be great in Madden. Nothing to be said about their O-line. Their O-line sucks. Michael Bennett, great left end. He should make all those block sheds, get after the passer. Cliff Averill, he's probably the best left end, right end combo in the game. Nothing to be said about them. Bobby Wagner, great middle linebacker, 88 speed. This guy's got some size to him. He's got some speed to him. He's got everything to him. This is a great player. You can use him for user. You can leave him alone, and the computer will do a good job. KJ Wright, great player. He can get some block sheds, do some power moves, 88 overall. Richard Sherman, you know all about Richard Sherman. Down at 92, might not be quite fair, but you know, I'm not a Seahawks fan, so I'll be okay with it. Yeah, the second corner is not very good. Brandon Browner's all the way at a 73 now. Remember, like 4 years ago, he used to be like an 89 or some shit, and he was a great corner with Richard. But those days are gone. Got Earl Thomas, best free safety in the game, in my opinion. Then probably Devin McCourty. Cam Chancellor, best strong safety in the game. Speeds up to an 87, so that's good. All right, let's move on to the next team. All right, guys. Number 2, we have the New England Patriots. This is my favorite team, guys. This is the team I'll be running with. Tom Brady, best quarterback ever. Um, 94 is kind of an injustice to him. You know, once he gets back from that suspension, he's going to jump that back up to a 99 or something close. LeGarrette Blount, he can still pound it, still run people over. Dion Lewis, he should be good out of the backfield catching passes. Good 1-2 punch. Julian Edelman, 86 speed only, but he's got like 97 route running, and he's going to get separation. So don't worry about that. Danny Amendola, he's decent. I would call him decent. And then Chris Hogan, I think, is going to have a good year. You should see a bump from him at some point. Best 1-2 tight end tandem in the game. Rob Gronkowski, cover athlete, and Michael Bennett, Martellus Bennett, his brother. And he's going to have a fantastic year. And I think if Gronk goes down, he can fill in and be that number 1 guy as well. So definitely going to be fun to use two tight end sets with this team here. Nate Solder, decent blindside. Sebastian, he's also decent. Chris Long, just signed him from the Rams. He should be a very solid, serviceable guy on the left end. Jabal Shurd, fantastic athlete, 82 speed. I'm not going to go all the way down and check the other stats for the sake of time, but he should have very good block shedding and probably power moves, if I had to take a guess. Terrence Knighton, pot roast, great speed, good block shedding. This guy will stuff runs for you. Rob Ninkovich, I don't really like his speed here. In real life, he's a much better player than on Madden. But, he'll probably be playing some stand-up linebacker this year. And, 82 is not very fair to him. But, nonetheless, he should be okay. Jamie Collins, one of my favorite athletes. This guy is as good as they come for users and as well as just leaving him alone. And he will do work for you. Dante Hightower, this dude's a complete animal. 90 overall, 83 speed, 265 pounds. I mean, this is like the Gronk on defense. He's a freaking monster. Malcolm Butler, Super Bowl hero. Then you got Logan Ryan. They both had great years last year. 71 for the slot. Cyrus Jones just drafted him. He's the top pick from out of Alabama. But he's going to get that boost. I know he is. And he's going to be a fantastic kick returner. So, got Devin McCourty, free safety. Second best in the game behind Earl Thomas. Then you got Patrick Chung, who has become a very, very, very solid safety ever since he came back to the Patriots from the Eagles. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Oh, Steven Gostkowski, but, who cares about kickers right now? The top number 1 team that is going to be used all the time in Madden, just like it was last year, is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Not quite as stacked as last year, but I think some of these ratings are definitely going to get a boost as the year goes on. Cam Newton, nothing to be said about him. Probably the most OP quarterback in this game. 94 overall. Jonathan Stewart, fantastic. 240 pounds, 87 speed. This dude can run over. He can hit the edge and take it all the way. Great running back. Calvin Benjamin, he's coming off injury from last year. They did great without him. So we'll see how they do with him. 245 pounds. This dude's bigger than Calvin Johnson. Not quite as fast, but he's going to be a beast. And I think he's going to be around 90 by the time the year ends. Got Greg Olsen, one of the best tight ends in the game. This dude can run every route, catch everything. O-line, I'm going to skip for the sake of time. Charles Johnson, he got nerfed a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say nerfed. He got downgraded to an 82. Coney Ely, good young player. K'Wan Short, one of the best D-tackles in the game. They got some good D-tackle depth with Paul Soliai and Star Lutulele. So, good to use. Shaq Thompson, he's a good user player in my opinion. He's young, so he's not going to have great awareness or anything. Luke Kuechly, probably, I would say, top 3 defensive players in this game. This dude, obviously 99 overall. Not much else to be said about him. Thomas Davis Sr., still playing at a high level. 11 years experience. This guy is a good 4-3 linebacker. He can make all the tackles. Don't know anything about these dudes here. Kurt Coleman, 87 overall. Trey Boston, 78. So overall, I would say the top 4 of this list are very similar, just depending on what you really have preference for, offense or defense, or possibly a little bit of a balance. And then number 5, we had the Jags, and I feel like they're going to be a surprise team that'll be used quite often and used a lot in franchise modes to build that team and take them to the Super Bowl. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's try to hit 25 likes on this video. I'm going to be coming out with some new tip videos and really very valuable content in the upcoming days. So make sure you tune in for that. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next